Radio.
And here we are back now on the Gabriel Anders Show. Thank you for tuning in, we greatly appreciate it. Of course, want to let you know that you can tweet me at RealGabeAnders with anything you want to talk about. Hopefully you can bring something to the table because I don't got much. My vision is cleared up though. That's a great update right now, coming back into pseudo segment number 2. The vision, for some reason, has cleared up. So it's amazing what the human body can do, right? Especially when you're waking up earlier in the morning. And then if you are waking up early in the morning and you're going to work or doing whatever it is that you do, kudos to you. Let me know. Let me hear it. I'm happy that you are joining us on your morning commutes or getting ready or whatnot, because we are going to talk some fantasy baseball for you fantasy baseball fans. So that's what we have lined up here. So nice reminder to everybody, set your rosters right now, because man, we have this RGTR Red Gold Talk Radio. Oh, by the way, you're listening to Red Gold Talk Radio on YouTube and on the station at redgold.net and pretty much anywhere that you can reach here or access this stream. And we are talking about fantasy baseball here on the Gabriel Anders Show today. So what I was alluding to is we have a fantasy baseball league that we have here at RGTR with a bunch of the DJs. So JP of the Kings of the Round Table, Jordan and HD, as well as Monks, as well as some other friends who have joined the league and joined in, and myself included. So I'm very excited and happy to let everybody know. So status update, if you're rooting for my team, the Anders Fathers, which you should be, and I hope you are, then you would be happy and pleased to know that we have, out of the 12 teams in the league, we have jumped up from position number 10 to position number 5. So a big jump over the week. So just to let you know, we have jumped up to the 5th spot with now a record of 14-3-6. We're over 500, and any of you baseball fans know over 500 is a fantastic thing. So we are gonna wanna cool. And hey, anybody who's listening on the redgold.net who's just jumping over from previously programmed or different programming that was already running, we want to thank you very much from jumping over from, it looks like, the Philadelphia experiment. So hey, just letting you know, if you're listening on stream and that's where you're jumping over from, welcome in. It's the Gabriel Anders Show, special pseudo show edition. So we're just putting stuff together and seeing what fits here today. We're waking up, we're getting everything warmed up in the station for all the guys. We don't have a live show today, but we do have a live show tomorrow with Kings of the Round Table, and we had one with Art and Matt, Sons of Legends, yesterday. So now back to the fantasy baseball. So if you guys want to hear the results, let's go ahead and compare and contrast. So we have the normal team, which, by the way, did you select a lot of Padres in your draft? Because you should have. Have you picked up a lot of Padres in free agent? Because you should have. I am admittedly a San Diego Padres fan, but they should be, on paper, one of the best offensive teams in the league right now today. Here's the thing, they're kind of not right now. They're kind of on and off. I've had Machado in at third base, flip him over to shortstop. It's not really producing as well as you think a Machado would. But here's the cool thing, though, is I think the bat's waking up. So Machado yesterday went 2 for 4 with a home run and 5 RBIs. So one thing I want to let you guys know. So this rocked my world. You really got to check the scoring when you're getting into a fantasy baseball league. So this scoring's a little bit different. I'll hit on it with batters as I'm going through, and then we're going to get into pitchers because I am not used to this format. But hey, if you can sort of take a look and figure out and sort of work backwards and deconstruct what's going on, you can win any league that you want to. You just got to learn how the scoring works. So Machado is one of the Padres I have. So to let you know, I was rocked by the whole COVID thing right now. So Fernando Tatis Jr. has tested positive for COVID. Fernando, we hope you're feeling fine. Get well quick, buddy, and hopefully the symptoms don't rock you too hard. We want to see you back in action with those luscious gold locks running around the diamond sometime soon. So that's not from Fantasy Baseball Manager Gabe Andrews. That's from Super San Diego Padres fan Gabriel Anders, little kid who grew up in South Bay and grew up going to Qualcomm to watch games in the 90s. Excuse me. So get well soon, Fernando, and anybody else. Hopefully, I think Will Myers might have tested positive too. So same thing, Willie. I don't know if you like being called Willie, but same thing. Will, go ahead and get well soon. Apparently, I can't. Talking's not my strongest forte at 4:50 in the morning. But get well soon, Will, and we hope to see you slugging back as well. Now, the Padres I do have Will Myers, I have Manny Machado, I have Trent Grisham, and I have Eric Hosmer. Myers and Hosmer both out to COVID. Trent Grisham has been sporadically producing, and Manny Machado also has been sporadically producing. I want to say that Trent Grisham might even be a higher valued sort of production or producer when it comes to hitting this year. Machado, you got to leave in the lineup because at any given point he's bound to go, oh, I don't know, 2 for 4 with a home run and 5 RBIs. So, Manny got a home run and a triple today. That was pretty awesome. Buster Posey is my normal catcher. And here's the thing with Buster Posey, he didn't have a game. And I had Tyler, let me make sure I have that name right. I had Tucker, Tucker Barnhart of the Cincinnati Reds, who didn't produce. So expert analysts are saying that Barnhart's about to cool down, that he has sort of had his run for the season, and with him hitting the ball harder, he's also taken a lot more strikeouts this year than he was in the past 2 seasons. So he has come out like a man on fire in Cincinnati, but signs are saying, and I'm sort of watching it right now, I might be dropping Barnhart for somebody on my IL. I did pick up a third catcher, which seems crazy, but the way the rest of my lineup's been going, I feel pretty confident in doing so. So I picked up Wilson Ramos of the Tigers, the Detroit Tigers, who had 6 home runs, I want to say, in the first couple of weeks prior to going out. He has this stint on the DL, and I think he had one other. I'm not too positive. I don't have it in front of me, but I'm sort of eyeing possibly dropping Barnhart for Ramos. Time will tell on that one. I kind of want to see once Ramos gets off the DL if he just comes out slugging again, which he really did in early April. There might be a drop there, but if he sort of... Because what I'm noticing right now is any guys with back injuries, when they come off, they're sort of lighting it up. And actually, on the note of lighting it up, I had Gene Segura. Trying to see, it's like an old baseball game. I'm forgetting first names because I only see last names and first initials. So Gene Segura, Cedric Mullins. For a second, Trent Grisham also is on this list. J.D. Davis and Buster Posey, because I believe Buster Posey did a short little stint on the IL already this year too. And there's one more I might be Altuve, Jose Altuve. He's the one asterisk in this list. So these are all guys who jumped on the IL early, on the injured reserve list early, and their debuts back just came out swinging. So if these are guys that you can trade for, we'll get into that. I'll get into that a little bit later. So my normal lineup, I've been having Buster Posey at catcher, rotating sort of cast of Will Myers or Eric Hosmer or Trey Mancini. That's right. See, here I go again. I'm just making up names. Yeah, Trey Mancini. That's right. Good baseball name. That's why I picked Mancini, by the way. Brad over on Broken Link Radio thinks I am insane for doing so, but Trey Mancini, I picked him. I absolutely picked him because he has a great baseball name. But so my first baseman have been a rotating cast of Eric Hosmer and Will Myers on the Padres because Will Myers can play first base, even though he's typically in the outfield. Eric Hosmer has been tearing it up, but he's been very off and on. And then Mancini to fill in the gaps. My infield has been a sort of a merry-go-round for a little bit while I figured out who exactly I wanted to be there. So I have Altuve. He doesn't start. Altuve was on the DL. I want to say it was for COVID, almost 2 weeks. Back when the Astros got COVID. I started him a couple times at second base, but with him only playing second base, I won't say that diminishes his value. But anytime I've started him, he doesn't seem to produce. Who has been producing is Gene Segura. So I picked him up on the IL. He sat around for about 10, 15 days, and I was finally able to start playing him last weekend. And oh me, oh my, in the words of Streetlight Manifesto. Wow, I think he went, was it 3 for 4 or 4 for 5 with a handful, a good chunk of RBIs, maybe a couple RBIs also, and they might have had a stolen base in that first outing back. And then Machado's been my third baseman. I've been holding very strong with Marcus Semien of Toronto at shortstop. So I have Miles Straw, I have Didi Gregorius, I have, again, a myriad of shortstops that I could be. I even had Hae-Sung Kim on the Padres for a little bit, because early in the season, about the first week or two, it really looks like they were going to be utilizing and tapping into him a lot at both, actually at second base, at shortstop, and third base. When it came to time to give Tatis, Machado, or I forgot who's playing second base right now, or who started. Maybe it was Cronenworth, but starting them off during the day. So I sort of picked him up because it's a keepers league. We'll get into that, though, because I think we're going to be right up on a break here soon. But this is my first keepers league, so we're going to go into that a little bit more. We're going to hit my outfield. So that's sort of, so I'm giving you these as pointers too, so that you can sort of take a look, see what's available, and then we'll venture into the outfield, we'll venture into the pitching staff, and we'll be right back here on Gabriel Andrews' show on RGTR, Red Gold Talk Radio. We'll be right back.
Red Gold Talk. You're listening to RGTR, Red Gold Talk Radio.
2 great shows have been announced for the Arizona Wrestling Federation in May. May 8th, AWF Nova, and May 29th, the Wild Card Rumble is back. Both in Phoenix, Arizona. Get your tickets at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com.
Hey guys, it's Big HD, the Hardcore Degenerate, inviting you to check out Kings of the Round Table every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on RGTR Radio.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Art Dog here with your homeboy MJ Gunner.
What's going on, everybody?
And we want you to join us every Tuesday live for the Sons of Legends podcast at 10 p.m., where we talk about wrestling, sports, entertainment, and everything else. It's a show for the fans, by the fans.
That's right, Art. You know how it gets whenever we get in to talk about our wrestling. It gets completely insane.
And every Tuesday, we'll be all the way live, 10 p.m. Join us for the Sons of Legends podcast on RGTR.
Hey, folks. I'm Bradley C. Baker.
And I'm Jim Caterly.
And we're from Broken Link Radio. We'd like to ask you to take a second of your day to join our Patreon at BrokenLinkRadio1word.com. You see, due to Jim's excessive shoe habit
and Burhead's compulsive habit of buying used books,
we need a little help keeping up with our operational fees. With packages starting as low as $3.99 a month, you can become the ultimate scumbag and help keep food on our tables during these trying times.
Dude, what's this? We're not starving.
I know, Jim, but listen, we're all in this together.
No, it's like you're making us into a Sarah McLachlan commercial or something.
I know. I'm just reading what was written, Jim.
Why don't we just tell them if they like what they hear to support the show?
Yeah, well, I think we're out of time now, and the studio only paid for one take, so whatever. Catch new episodes every Monday and help support the show on our Patreon at brokenlinkradio1word.com, patreon.com/brokenlinkradio.
Do it. I still hate that URL.
Broken Link Radio. You're listening to RGTR, Red Go Talk Radio.
Alrighty, guys, we are back here on the Gabriel Anders Show, and we're going through the most riveting subject that I know you all want to hear about, and that's fantasy baseball. We're just going to make this entire episode about fantasy baseball. So that's kind of what we're doing here tonight. No, not really. We'll probably talk about other stuff. I have vision again. That's the biggest key update I think that we're running into is I'm Gabriel Anders. This is the Gabriel Anders Show, and I can see again. Which, that, to me, pretty awesome. So, if you're listening over on redgold.net, we appreciate it. If you're listening on the Streama app, thank you so much. Make sure you favorite us and tell your friends to get that Streama app and shoot them over the link. Put that link everywhere if you can, please. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You kids do the TikTok and all that stuff. Put it everywhere. And for those of you listening on YouTube, I appreciate it. So we are going to get right back in. So we talked a little bit about the infield. I want to wrap up because I think I hit everything. The one guy I kind of forgot. So he's an infielder. He's an outfielder. I have him in my utility spot. Longest active hitting streak in the majors right now. And that is Adam Frazier over on the Pittsburgh Pirates. So this kid right now, if you can get him, I guarantee, unless he's been hitting SportsCenter or Baseball Tonight or whatever those equivalents are, because I haven't watched conventional TV in probably a good decade. Pick up Adam Frazier right now. He plays second base. He plays outfield. You can use him in your infield. You can use him in your outfield. If somebody has a day off, just keep rotating him everywhere, and you have a utility spot. Put him in the utility spot. This kid right now is such a beast. He just had a home run, so he's gone. Just listen to this right now. 2 for 5 with a home run and 2 RBIs in the last game against Cincinnati. Went 1 for 14. They lost 14-1. The Pirates lost to the Reds the day before. Went 2 for 3. Went 2 for 3. And remember, so you're not going to hear me talk about walks a lot. Stolen bases I'll kind of focus on. That's what originally attracted to me to Adam Frazier with my fantasy team. It's because I was watching a Pirates game and the kid was just getting hits and stealing bases. And that's two things that absolutely play a factor. In our league, I've switched over to power. I'll explain that when we get into the outfield a little bit more. But this dude, the other thing I focus on is if he can't be a Franmil Reyes, if he can't be a Machado, if he can't be, a Trent Grisham who's bound to go deep at any given at bat, I want multi-hit guys. I want multi-hit with RBIs and stolen base guys. So Adam Frazier is that. Again, he's on a 12-game hitting streak right now. That's insane. Longest in the majors right now. Yeah, it's early, but who cares? This is the time to take advantage of that and get as many wins as you can in while the pitchers are still warming up and while the bats are getting hot in weird places. This is the time you want to take them right now. So 2 for 5 today with a home run and 2 RBIs. Definitely a good outing. 2 for 3 the day before against Cincinnati, and that was against Mahler, I want to believe, or Mailer. I can't recall how to say his name. I'll get to him later because I have him as on my pitching staff. 1 for 5 the day before. 3 for 4 with the stolen base the game before that. 1 for 3 the game before that. 1 for 4. 1 for 4. 1 for 4. 1 for 4. 1 for 5. 1 for 4, and that's where my stat sheet ends. So he's also picked up. He doesn't pick up a lot of RBIs because remember he's on the Pirates. No offense, JP. Hope you still love me, buddy. But the dude's the most productive guy on the Pirates. I think JP was actually the one who told me, and that's he's host over on Kings of the Rounds table, is the Pirates could get pulverized 18-2, but Adam Frazier will go 3 for 4 with a home run and home run and all 4 RBIs and 2 stolen bases on top of it, and have scored 2 runs himself. So That's a guy that you want all around because you can fit him anywhere. He's doing what one guy who's been an unsung hero in my outfield. So if he's laying around, and I could see him laying around right now, on the Diamondbacks, David Peralta. I don't know how long. I think he got up to an eight game hitting streak. I know he broke it a little bit last week. He broke it with a couple outings, but again, this guy in his last game, 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs, 2 for 4 with 1 RBI, 0 for 3, 0 for 5, 0 for 3. Yeah, hey, you know what? Stuff happens. 1 for 4, 2 for 4, 1 for 1, 1 for 4. But there was a tear where he was getting 2-3 hits a game with a home run and a handful of RBIs in some cases. I think there was a doubleheader where he went either 6 for 7 or 7 for 8 and had a home run and maybe about 6 RBIs and a stolen base or 2. I might be a little bit off on the numbers, but not by much. That was that doubleheader, I want to say, against Colorado, and I believe it might have been in Colorado. So obviously some bumped up stats if they were, but at the same token, like, that's another guy you want on your roster to absolutely, be your stopgap, be anything you need in that regards. If you do have somebody with an off day or somebody who's slumping that you don't want to get rid of necessarily. One guy who I did have previously, but I dropped him, is Adam Eaton. We'll get into that when we get into free agents and sort of who to look out for right now. But these are guys on my roster. So my normal outfielders would usually consist of a rotating cast. So I have Cedric Mullins, who could hit you 2 home runs in any given game. Again, this guy has been all right. Actually, not too shabby. Now that I look at it, he's on a 6-game hitting streak himself right now. So 1 for 5 with 1 for 4 the game before that, 1 for 4 with the home run and an RBI. 1 for 4, stolen base, 1 for 4, 1 for 4, 0 for 4, stolen base, 3 for 5, home run, 2 RBIs, 1 for 3, 1 for 4, home run, 2 RBIs. So Cedric Mullins, probably not available. I want to see. Let me take a quick look at that again right now. He is he's 79% rostered right now on Yahoo. So if that is a guy who is available, I'd say go ahead and try to get him right now. And by the way, Adam Frazier, touching on that again, he's 37% rostered. Go get him. Go find him. Adam Frazier. You got to get the right Frazier. Number 26, second base outfield. Adam Frazier and the Pirates. This is the guy you get. He's ranked 170 overall. And 37 people, I think it was 12% rostered. No, he's about 33% rostered. Nobody's hearing about this guy. It's the quietest 12-game longest active hitting streak in baseball history right now. You got to get him because he is going to produce you points. Another one I want to harp on right now, Marcus Semien, but he's 93%. Buster Posey, I think the cat's out of the bag. He's up to 88%. And this is percentage owned. David Peralta's another one. He's 64% owned. I think I just mentioned that. And then the other one, oh, by the way, if he escapes the COVID contact tracing, up Trent Grisham's too. Yeah, everyone's got Trent Grisham. Will Myers is 90%. Another sleeper for me is Franmil Reyes. So he's going to be a little bit rarer to find. He's about 88% rostered. So a good cat's kind of out of the bag on that one. But if you can pick him up, definitely pick him up. Segura right now is only 72% rostered because he spent all that time on the IL. But you got to get him. Like, that's another guy where if you have a weak infield and if you have guys with a lot of days off or guys who are prone to slumping, Gene Segura right now has come back he started out the season like a man possessed, and he is currently playing, now that he's off the IL, like said man possessed still again. And again, with him being 72% rostered, that means that there is a very good possibility that he might be available in your league. I have AJ Pollock, who is 57% rostered. I can kind of see why. Not only is he a Dodger, but at the same token, he's been kind of off and on. I'll stick him on if absolutely nobody else is available. He hasn't been a slouch, so he has on the season. He's hit 4 home runs. He has 15 RBIs. So I don't know that he's quite on pace with what he was doing last year, but at the same token, he's also had some health issues. So he's one that if he gets healthy and stays healthy, I would definitely take a look at picking him up for your outfield. He's not one that I use. Again, my normal core is, you're looking at Cedric Mullins, Franmil Reyes, and Trent Grisham, and that's for the home run power. So my infielders get me hits, my infielders get me stolen bases, my infielders get me RBIs, my outfielders go deep. That's sort of how I have everything structured right now. So we'll see if it works. It has been working thus far since I sort of rearranged the strategy. I didn't used to do this strategy. So that's what I was telling you guys, that I had so before I came into this league, I was used to playing base on balls, runs, and stolen bases were all weighted a lot more heavily. So I almost had the Moneyball aspect of, why did you draft that guy? Because he gets on base. Shin-Chu Park hardly ever hit home runs, stole a lot of bases, had a lot of walks. Coco Crisp was another guy I love to pick up. The Andrew McCutchen, I believe, I think he's with Philadelphia now. Back when he was on the Pirates, when he came into the league, McCutchen would steal bases and get walks. That's all I wanted. I basically wanted a team full of Ricky Hendersons and would win by doing so. So this league that I'm playing in now, you're going to hear a little bit more of a different type of advice, because it's more long ball centric. So that's, again, it's based off long ball and average. So that's why I want guys with multi-hit games and guys with home runs, because that's where it's weighted. Which kills me, because the first week or so, and I can't recall who exactly I drafted, we'll go over that in another episode, but I drafted nothing but guys who get walks, stolen bases, and are likely to get knocked in. I had to very quickly, once I lost the majority of my games early on in week 1, learn that I want the guys who are knocking in the runs, not the guys who are getting knocked in. So, again, those are my normal outfielders. I'll repeat it. So, Cedric Mullins, Franmil Reyes, Trent Grisham. Why? Because they can go deep at any given moment. But my backups to them are obviously Trey Mancini, Will Myers, David Peralta is my usual go-to if somebody's on an off day. And, if I really want to dig deep, I got AJ Pollock, I got Miles Straw, who I can utilize in the outfield too. Typically I don't. Typically they're more my infield backups, except for AJ Pollock, who didn't play infield, along with DD Gregorius, who I'll put in the infield. But that's sort of my outfielders crew. And again, it's because they go deep. So I took a different stance once I learned how the scoring was going, which you kind of got to adapt quick, is what I'm learning in fantasy baseball. But what we're going to do now, we're actually going to go ahead and take a little break. So we're going to take a break real quick. When we come back, though, what we're going to do is... I don't like that one. I think we played that one. Hold on one second. We're going to go out to break, but I want to go out to break right. I think I came in from that one. Oh, no, this is just ridiculous. I should have just gone out on what I had previously. So, okay, we'll go ahead and... okay, good, yeah. We're not going to break on Deck the Halls. Not yet. I love Christmas. I'm a big fan of Christmas, but there's a time and a place, and May 12th is not that just yet. But we're going to go to break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk pitchers, and in my league, it's a pitcher-specific league, so not a pitching team pitching league, which I'm used to. But nonetheless, we'll get more into that when we come back. You're listening to the Gabriel Anders Show here on Red Gold Talk Radio. We will be right back.
You're listening to RGTR, Red Go Talk Radio.
Two great shows have been announced for the Arizona Wrestling Federation in May. May 8th, AWF Nova, and May 29th, the Wild Card Rumble is back. Both in Phoenix, Arizona. Get your tickets at ArizonaWrestlingFederation.com.
Hey guys, it's Big HD, the Hardcore Degenerate, inviting you to check out Kings of the Round Table every Thursday night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on RGTR Radio.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Art Dog here with your homeboy MJ Gunner.
What's going on, everybody?
And we want you to join us every Tuesday live for the Sons of Legends podcast at 10 p.m., where we talk about wrestling, sports, entertainment, and everything else. It's a show for the fans, by the fans.
That's right, Art. You know how it gets whenever we get in to talk about our wrestling. It gets completely insane.
And every Tuesday, we'll be all the way live, 10 p.m. Join us for the Sons of Legends podcast on RGTR.
Hey, folks, I'm Bradley C. Baker,
And I'm Jim Caterly.
and we're from Broken Link Radio. We'd like to ask you to take a second of your day to join our Patreon at BrokenLinkRadio1word.com. You see, due to Jim's excessive shoe habit,
And Burhead's compulsive habit of buying used books.
we need a little help keeping up with our operational fees. With packages starting as low as $3.99 a month, you can become the ultimate scumbag and help keep food on our tables during these trying times.
Dude, what's this? We're not starving.
I know, Jim, but listen, we're all in this together.
No, it's like you're making us into a Sarah McLachlan commercial or something.
I know. I'm just reading what was written, Jim.
Why don't we just tell them if they like what they hear to support the show?
Yeah, well, I think we're out of time now, and the studio only paid for one take, so whatever. Catch new episodes every Monday and help support the show on our Patreon at BrokenLinkRadio1word.com, patreon.com/BrokenLinkRadio.
Do it! I still hate that URL.
Broken Link Radio. You're listening.
Alrighty there, ladies and germs. Welcome back. Welcome back to the Gabriel Andrews Show. That's what you're being welcome back to here on Red Gold Talk Radio. How annoying would it be if I just did the entire rest of the show like this? What if this was my real voice? I don't know if I could live with myself. I'd probably take vocal lessons. Just talk differently. Oh man, we're talking fantasy baseball here. Fantasy baseball, I can talk for hours. And I have, and I do. Mostly with Brad over on Broken Link Radio. Jim, not so much. Love you, Jim. Jim doesn't really get down with the fantasy baseball as much as the stats. Funny enough, Brad doesn't either. Just to save face for Brad. Brad's not a big fantasy baseballer. JP is. But of course, we have our talks also. Whenever we can. We talk a lot of station stuff. But Brad and I go on and on and on about different baseball stats. And the fun thing is, when I eventually do own a baseball team, which I would love to do one day, let's put that out there in the universe so that can transpire and happen. Brad will definitely be the guy I go to for defensive statistics, but that does nothing for me, Brad, in fantasy baseball, unfortunately. Unless it's a pitcher. So let's talk pitching. So before we get out of here, I am going to go ahead and give my stats, give my results for the day. Hold on, let's see here. I want to go ahead and set this timer. We probably should do that. If I put everyone else on the station on a timer, I should probably put myself on one too. So, cool. We got that going. But, yeah, fantasy baseball, pitching, let's go. So, I'm used to leagues where you select a team's pitching staff. They're your team for the week, and you kind of just roll with it from there. This league, again, is full of surprises and full of things I've either never experienced or stayed away from. So the combination of selecting pitchers based on their individual performance, and also kind of knowing that you want to, since it's a keepers league, get guys. It's almost like you are playing franchise mode a little bit more so with the pitchers, because you kind of wanted to even out to, you have somebody going each and every day. So I actually think that right now I have 7 started pitchers with only 2 relievers. So those allow for bench spots. Those allow for all that good stuff. But at the same time, let's dabble into some of the guys that I have right now. So right now, shout out to my boy Joey, Milwaukee Brewers, young little ace right here, Freddie Peralta. That is a guy that you want on your team. He is 91% rostered right now. So if you didn't get him early on, which I sort of lucked out, I think I picked him in the draft if I'm not mistaken. I don't know how I was able to get him, but I did, and it's fantastic. I'm very happy with it. Just to give you a little example, in his last game, he pitched 7 scoreless innings, 1 hit, had a whip of .29, 0.29 that is, and allowed no runs, got 8 strikeouts. Time before it got rocked a little bit. I think he let 5 runs in and 4 innings, 5 earned runs, 4 innings. Had a whip 1.75, not amazing. ERA was garbage that game, 11.25, but still got his 8 strikeouts in. So the reason we're going Peralta is because he's young, he's got vigor, he's got strikeouts, he's got an arm, and as they're starting to let these pitch counts go a little bit deeper now that we're into the mid-May almost, this guy's showing that he can easily go, as long as he doesn't get into trouble, he can easily go, 6, 7, 8 innings. So he should be able to be closing out games here soon if he can get the run support from the Brewers. And if he does that, you're looking at, almost like Musgrove, Kershaw, Snell level, like Bieber level, almost like, 9, 10, 11, 12 strikeouts per game. I bet you. So he might be a little far off. It might be a little lofty of a guess, of a hope for Peralta. But in all reality, when you look at 7 innings, 8 strikeouts, 4 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, even when he got blown up, 6 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts. I wish it went a little bit further. I don't know how to get it to sort of collapse a little bit more, but still, like, this kid is on the season. He's pitched 39 innings thus far. He has 61 strikeouts. I just want to make sure I was reading that right. 61 strikeouts with an ERA of 2.77 and a whip of 0.95. This kid's a beast. Freddie Peralta on the Brewers. So he's probably already rostered in your league. Like I said, I think he's about 95% rostered right now on Yahoo. Just double checking. 91%. So, okay, a little less. Find a trade. If you have an extra outfielder lying around that's producing that you don't have room for because, you're loaded in the position, or an infielder who you only use at at second base, and like how I have Altuve, he can only use him at second base, but I'm so full up on people who can play second base already that I have to sort of jimmy people in, or like if you have like Trey Mancini I have sitting at first base, but at the same time I have Will Myers, Eric Hosmer, and Buster Posey, who I'm always looking to fit in the lineup. Like, if you have a guy like that lying around, or a couple of them who produce enough to really favor whoever's holding Peralta, I would say they might be willing to let him go. So take a look out. Of course, I have Joe Musgrove, the San Diego boy. I'm a San Diego boy. He threw our first no-hitter ever. Obviously, I had to take him. Otherwise, I think they would have thrown me in San Diego jail. Also on the Padres note, I have Chris Stammen. Sorry about that. Craig Stammen. And then I have Mark Melancon. So those are my relievers. They're the only relievers I have. What I like about Stammen is he pitches an inning or two. He'll get you a strikeout or two, but he doesn't let in any runs. So what you're looking for with relievers, same thing with Stammen. He won't always come in and strike out the side. It's not realistic to really expect that out of him. But what he is going to do is he's going to throw an inning of shutout ball. He might get a hit or two. He might strike out one or two, but he's going to walk you out with an inning with 0.00 ERA. With a 0 ERA, he's not going to let in any earned runs typically. Everyone lets in something every now and then, but he's also going to get you saves and holds. So stamina usually comes in a little too early in the game, doesn't really get you any holds, but again, he'll usually pitch about an inning or two of a scoreless ball. So you'll get a couple strikeouts and a couple cheap innings of, 0 earned runs, which with your relievers, that's kind of what you want to go for. I alluded to it earlier. I have Tyler Mahle. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I've listened to a few Reds games, but I can never recall if I'm producing that right. I like Mahle. He got I think it was a couple outings back, he got beat up by Chicago, but came back against Pittsburgh. This is what I love about this kid. 5.1 innings, 7 strikeouts. 5 innings, even though he got blown up and let in 5 runs, 5 strikeouts. 5 innings, 5 strikeouts. 6.2 innings, 9 strikeouts. 5 innings, 7 strikeouts. 4 innings, 6 strikeouts. 5 innings, 9 strikeouts. Dude's a beast. And then when you look at his ERA, because he had that nasty Cubs game, now Tyler Mahle, he's going to let in some runs every now and then. So you got to be aware with that, and you have to have the stomach for that, because this is a guy who you're purely putting on the roster to get you strikeouts. His whip, about 1.17. That's actually surprising now that I look at it, because I would imagine that he lets people on a lot more. So I don't know if they're just doing damage with home runs. I haven't delved that deep into it, because he's been producing what I want and he hasn't been losing me points. Another key thing is I'm in a league where wins and losses don't matter for the pitchers. So you can definitely have a little bit more leniency, and you can have a little bit more of a leash on some of these guys, like Tyler Mahle just let in 5 runs. Musgrove just let in 5 runs a couple outings back. Cueto, I think, got rocked. We'll talk about him in a second, but I picked up Cueto. He was on the IL. First appearance back. My Padres beat him up, but I'm not dropping him. And I'll tell you in a minute when we get to him. We're not too far out. Adam Wainwright is somebody who I think everybody is probably sleeping on right now. He's only 37% rostered right now, and what I want you to do, if you're listening to this, drop what you're doing. Go pick up Adam Wainwright, because I bet you he's available in your league. He's out in St. Louis, so St. Louis is a pitcher's ballpark. Listen to what this guy's been doing. 5 innings in April, 6 strikeouts. 5 innings, 7 strikeouts. 7 innings, 10 strikeouts. 9 innings, complete game, 8 strikeouts. 5.2, 5 strikeouts, and then in his last outing a couple days ago, 8 1/3 scoreless innings, 0.72 whip, 5 strikeouts. So didn't get the strikeouts, but when he's not getting the strikeouts and racking up the Ks, he's getting you scoreless innings. So that's another reason you want to go pick up Adam Wainwright, and I guarantee you he's available. 37% rostered for Adam Wainwright. Yeah, I know he's 39 years old, but hey, man, you're not drafting this kid to be your next top prospect and send him to, tear up AA and AAA. You need a season out of him. In fact, you need a few games out of him. You just need some outings out of him. He's going to do it. He's looking strong. He was already benched for COVID, I think. I don't know if he actually had it or if it was a contact trace thing, but either which way, Wainwright's good. Now, if we go through, okay, that confused me. Trevor Rogers. He was the April Rookie of the Year, National League Pitcher of the Year? I don't know, but with Trevor Rogers, you'll notice they're really limiting his pitch count right now. But he has had a couple longer outings. He's sort of starting to stretch it. Florida's picking up. Oh, Florida. Yeah, I'm showing my age. I'm the old man. The Florida Marlins. Now the Miami Marlins, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's right. Trevor Rogers over there was April National League Pitcher of the Year, or Pitcher of the Month, something like that. And this is why. So, first outing, 4 innings. Okay, whatever. Limit pitch count on, an opening week. 6 strikeouts against St. Louis. 6 innings, 6 scoreless innings against the Mets, 10 strikeouts. 5 innings, 7 strikeouts against Atlanta. 7 scoreless innings against Baltimore, who have the Mancini and Mullins and a whole bunch, and some guys who can actually, even though they don't win, they produce. And so he went 7 innings, 8 strikeouts against Baltimore, 6 innings, 7 strikeouts, all scoreless again against Milwaukee, who is doing phenomenally in the National League. Against the Washington Nationals, he got rocked a little bit. 5 innings, 6 strikeouts, let in some runs there. Not a whole lot, but more than typical for him. And then last outing, May 7th against Milwaukee, a game that I watched and I was very happy I did. Led in a couple of runs, or led in 1 run, but 5 innings, 6 strikeouts. So Trevor Rogers is 87% rostered. You're probably not going to go get him, but again, somebody that you are definitely going to want to see if you can make a trade for. I hate to say somebody who might not know his worth, but either somebody who might not know his worth or is like me, who is very happy with his pitching staff and might be ready to let go of somebody in lieu of something more appetizing, say if they have a hole in their infield, outfield, or any other batters. I'm not sure if you can trade batters for pitchers in all leagues. I think you can in this one, but I'm not quite positive. But if you were to offer that to me, I'd say no. Quite honestly, and if I were to offer that to you, I would expect you to say no, because this Trevor Rogers is a beast. And again, Keepers League, he's nice, he's young, and he is an ace in the making, this Trevor Rogers. So, good job, by the way, Trevor. Great job on a fantastic April, and you are starting May off strong, so cheers to you, sir. Can you say cheers at 5:30 in the morning? Yeah, it's 5 o'clock somewhere, right? Doesn't specify AM or PM, right? So, next guy on my staff, Kevin Gausman of the quietly dominant Giants, who... the lady is a Giants fan, so I've been keeping an eye on all their games and been able to watch a bunch of their games. I couldn't believe 2 weeks ago, so I ended up picking up Gausman and Cueto, because Cueto was injured, so obviously he was an easier get. Gausman I couldn't believe was sitting out there, but I can't go as far back with Gausman, it looks like on the stat sheet, so I'll just give you his last couple outings, both against the Padres. Both fantastic. Only allowed a run in. Both games allowed 1 run in 6 innings. The first game against the Padres, he had 6 strikeouts. The second game, he had 7 strikeouts. So since I can't go as far back, game by game, we'll go ahead and look at it for the season with Kevin Gausman. 45 innings pitched, 47 strikeouts. So he's getting you about a strikeout an inning at least. He goes pretty deep into the games, and he has a 1.97 ERA with a 0.88 WHIP. Not too shabby. He is somebody. So apparently the cat's out of the bag with him too. 96% rostered. I don't know how I picked him up. You're probably not going to be able to pick him up now that everyone's getting, there's media attention on the Giants now. But at the same token, you might be, because I was able to. But at the same time, it was prior to everybody knowing that the Giants were doing something, and everybody was kind of available. So, Johnny Cueto, 35% rostered. Here's why I believe in Cueto. He got rocked by San Diego. Only went 3 innings. Ridiculous ERA. Only had 2 strikeouts. Yeah. I get it. But I'm sort of looking at the first outings he had before he went to the IL. It's his first game back from getting off the DL. Got the guy a break. Like, if you can afford to bench him, which depending on your league scoring structure you might be able to, then just bench him. Just bench him, because in his first few outings he had 5.2 innings, 4 strikeouts, 0 earned runs, 8.2 innings, 7 strikeouts, 5.2 innings, 7 strikeouts against Colorado and Seattle respectively. So, I would say give the guy a break. Give the guy a break and really pick him up. If you have DL spots, put him on your disabled list. Put on your injured list. So, and then lastly, this is more of a more of a, I don't know, maybe it's because it's a keepers league. I have Dustin May, and I don't know what to do with him yet because he's getting Tommy John. So if you have him, I wouldn't say drop him. If you're in a 1 year only league, obviously get rid of him. What are you still doing with him? If you're in a keepers league, they're saying about 1.5 years. So I really need to do my due diligence and sort of check him out a little bit more. I really don't know if I know enough about him to keep or drop him yet. So that's all I'm really looking at is with Dustin May. But very quickly, so before we get out of here, I'm just gonna go over my guy's numbers. So Tucker Barnhart went 0 for 4, no home runs, no RBIs, no stolen bases. Buster Posey did not have a game. Segura let me down with his first slumpy sort of performance. Went 0 for 5. Manny Machado went 2 for 4 again with a home run, 5 RBIs, as we mentioned before. Simeon went 2 for 5. Mullins went 1 for 5. David Peralta went 1 for 5 with 2 RBIs. Mancini went 0 for 4. Adam Frazier went 2 for 5 with a home run and 2 RBIs. And then my only pitcher that pitched was Freddie Peralta, who again went 7 innings pitched with 0 earned runs, a whip of 0.29, and 8 strikeouts. So that was sort of my day in fantasy baseball. So you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. I think the sun happens to be peeking through here, so it's about my time to head on out. But you know, it's been fun. I think I definitely want to do this with you guys a little bit more here with the Gabriel Anders show here. So that's the timer telling me to get on out of here, really. So that's not just the fun morning sound effect again. So I just want to let you know, if you're listening to me, like what you hear, tweet me at RealGabeAnders, give me a quick follow, and then let me know what you want to hear in future episodes. I'm going to do this. This episode started as a sound check, but I think it really kind of turned into something. Basically me just blabbing about fantasy baseball. But if you like that, tell your friends. Let's all blab about fantasy baseball. We got fantasy football coming up around the corner. I didn't even touch on any of the pro wrestling stuff I do, but we'll get into that and all sorts of other good stuff that you can hear right here on the Gabriel Anders show. So we're going to make this a thing. All right. So subscribe to us here on the YouTube and Red Gold Media. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, and listen to us on Spotify. For now, I am Gabriel Anders. This is Red Gold Talk Radio on the Gabriel Anders Show. And until next time, you have yourselves a good day.